Did Michael Jordan actually free the Looney Tunes from slavery? This is a legit question now because apparently Space Jam: A New Legacy was a documentary. So maybe the first Space Jam was a documentary. Because if you recall the plot of Space Jam: A New Legacy, LeBron James wanted his son to play basketball. His son just wanted to play video games. I sat through probably about 45 minutes of that movie before I just dropped the mic. I didn't fully see it, but it just seems very, very on the nose at this point because, man, the internet has been going buck wild when it comes to Bronny James, him and LeBron playing together. And my comment section remains open. It always will. If anyone can explain to me how this, in any way, shape, or form, adds to his quote-unquote GOAT status, I'd love to hear it. I really would. Because the funny thing about making history is that, is it really making history when it's history that no one else has really bothered to try to make? Like, I'm curious about the in-season tournament this year. Like, are they gonna really keep pressing this in-season tournament thing to see what a big deal? Because like, oh, this is historic, and we're gonna put up a banner and all this other fun shit. And it's just like, why? It's the first time. But they need to, they've gone so hard trying to replicate Jordan and what he meant to the league and do it through LeBron James that it's just so fake and inauthentic. And one of the things that infuriates me the most about the entire situation, right, is all these grown men just echoing the sentiments of the single mothers that raised them. LeBron earned this. Stephen A. Smith, looking at you specifically. LeBron earned this. This is historic. This is something that is monumental and has absolutely nothing to do with the integrity of the sport that you're playing. We are so far removed. Back when we were a masculine country, back when we weren't all feminized and accepting of lesser, we weren't burdened with what has been burdened. I'm joking, but we weren't burdened with the soft bigotry of low expectations. The championships were it. That's the end game. That's the end goal. That's what measures your greatness. And to be honest with you, no, the Lakers aren't winning the championship this year. It's just not gonna happen. Particularly with everything that they've done over at the Lakers organization to appease one LeBron James, who I am like 80% certain has smashed Jeanie Buss. All right, there's a video that's gone around the internet for a while of her just laying all over him and nuzzling on up like yeah, she knows what that meat feel like because that is not what you would a traditional owner employee relationship by any stretch of the imagination. But ultimately, tonight's gonna be starting night, and I wanted to speak on this because it's so dumb. It really is. And the NBA in and of itself is just shooting itself in its foot. It's the reason why there are reasons why I said a reason, my goodness. There's reasons why the numbers are down. Like having this man at the helm of the league, basically controlling the entire thing, Adam Silver, like, oh my God, what a joke. Seriously, what a joke. This man has bent over backwards to be the cheerleader for this era, where I genuinely feel bad for the likes of a Stephen Curry, who is legitimately better than LeBron, okay? Who changed the game far more than him. This summer, I worked with a lot of kids in the terms of sports, right? And, way more kids consider Steph Curry their GOAT than LeBron because Steph Curry won. Steph Curry was a part of a dynasty, he at least has one dynasty to his name. LeBron doesn't have any because he goes places. He wants to control everything, despite the fact that he wants the maximum reward with the least amount of effort. If you pay attention to his entire career, and we have 20 some change years now to really examine, yeah, it's the least amount of work for the highest amount of reward, which is why he always needs help. It's always, like my goodness, LeBron's teammates let him down and the like, when that wasn't a standard. That wasn't even a consideration back in the day. Like back when it was just like, because the thing about even Steph Curry is like, you have Kevin Durant for a couple of those titles. He had his Splash brother with him, just knocking him down. They were the Splash Brothers. Like, they had their own little thing there, but it wasn't so. It was very Curry dominant, but not as dominant as Jordan was with his control of the team, because Jordan was a ball breaker. Kobe Bryant, him and Kobe Bryant, they were ball breakers, right? The leadership has changed. The leadership has softened up, and it's plenty of that has to do with one LeBron James, which is one of the reasons why he's just, and it's not just that, it's the single mother mentality that he has, right? Where he could just go spouting off and getting emotional and feeling some kind of way about topics that he has really no right or the intellectual bandwidth to speak on, namely racism and the like, bro, you've been famous for the past for like going on 30 years. And guess what? That fame still will not touch what Michael Jordan did. For as famous as you are, for as many yes men and ass kissers that you got around you, like, your fame still ain't hitting the way that Jordan did, because Jordan was the originator. And Steph Curry and Kobe, he carried it with him. Steph Curry, he's carried it with him. But LeBron, it's not. And this right here, and notice I haven't spoken about Bronny James in this entire time because he's a kid. He's doing what his dad wants of him, and you know what? As a young man who did have his father, let me tell you something. All he wants is that I'm proud of you. All he wants is that attaboy. Like that's the relationship between fathers and sons. Sons just want to make their fathers proud. Fathers want to feel proud of their sons. But it's really evident that he won't be able to feel proud of his son almost no matter what he's able to accomplish in the NBA, because he knows that, yeah, he greased a lot of wheels to put his son in this position. So he's just not going to respect it. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just ranting. But either ways, the evidence of LeBron not having a father is right here before our eyes, because actual fathers want their sons to get out there and earn it. And I'm going to close out with this story between me and my dad. My dad preached for the longest, and we also had a lot of family turmoil when I was a kid. I had to be 10 or 11 years old, and me and my dad, we got into a back and forth where my dad just really put his foot down and said, this is my family, this is what I am doing. If you want to make decisions and choices, you go out and make your own. And that's exactly what I did. And I'll never forget, coming back. And this was before my father passed away. I was on a visit back from California at the time, and we were at a Burger King, and he's just like, I'm proud of you. And it wasn't the first time he said it to me, but it was the last time he said it to me. And the reason I'm bringing up that story is because ultimately that's what Bronny wants from his dad. That's something that LeBron, I don't know the man's story. I don't know if he's ever, what his relationship, if he ever had or does have. I just know his father didn't raise him. And had he raised him, had he had his father raised him, he'd have a more of a grasp of what masculinity, because that's what it really is. It's getting your children, namely your sons, ready to go out into that world on their own and build and create whatever it is that they can build and create for themselves, because that's us at our nature. But you may disagree, and that's what my comment section's for. Until the next one.